Hello everyone! For a long time, I really wanted to make this video to share my thoughts about Istanbul, or in general Turkey actually, about the things that I like and why not also dislike about the country. And I don't know, for a long time I was thinking about it, but I didn't have the chance for making this video. And finally today I'm gonna give you my opinions about the country. And I know nobody asked, but I really want to share my experience. In case that you don't know, I'm a Mexican living in Turkey for the past 7 years. In Istanbul, I have been living for 5, 6 years, and before I was living in another little city in the Black Sea region. It is called Ordu, a very small and lovely city, which, by the way, if you haven't visited, I recommend you to go because you will love it. Small, but you will love it. Remember that these are my thoughts, these are my opinions, and probably some of you might not agree with what I'm saying, but of course we are all different. Probably something that I dislike, you might like, and that's okay. But this video is about my experience, so just feel free to comment below and what are your thoughts about this video. I would love to read you all. So first, let's start with the most beautiful part. The things I liked about Istanbul and Turkey in general. Number one, this will be the mixture of cultures. And yes, in case that you haven't visited Istanbul yet, let me tell you that in this city you will have everything that you're looking for. Because this is a city that it's literally laid on two continents, Asia and Europe. And here it is where West meets the East. And here basically we can have diversity, and you will see also not only mosques, but also you will find many synagogues, churches, Orthodox churches, Catholic churches, and many other things that are quite interesting and that makes this city very unique. So for example, there are some neighborhoods in Istanbul that really show you how diverse the culture in this city is. For example, if you visit Balat in the European side or even Kuzguncuk on the Asian side, then you will realize that it's very multicultural, and this is something fascinating which I love. Number two, stunning views from every single point. And yes, Istanbul is one of those cities that you are lucky because doesn't matter where you are, for sure you will have a beautiful view, especially here during the sunsets. This is something that I enjoy and I feel delighted every time I'm out, because more likely you will have the experience to see a beautiful sunset. So it doesn't matter if you are on the seaside or if you are in a rooftop or terrace, you will have an excellent view from everywhere. Even if you are staying on an Airbnb and you have a balcony, just go to the balcony and pretty sure you will have a great view. Number three, local markets. And just tell me, who doesn't love the local markets? I mean, just going there, everywhere is crowded and the vendors trying to get your attention in a very unique way. This is something that I truly love from Turkish people and from people in here. It's just lovely, and you can find everything you're looking for in every local market. If you really want to experience the local life and what Turkish culture is, I suggest you to go visit any local market. Don't go to the Grand Bazaar or the Spice Bazaar. Go to the real local market. Then you will understand what I'm talking about. Number four, cats and doggies everywhere you go in Istanbul. This is something that I really like because as a Mexican, and that I can tell you that in my country, you will see a lot of stray, especially stray dogs more than cats, and they are in a very poor condition. Like people, as a Mexican, I need to admit it, that most of people don't really have the culture of taking care of our stray animals. And even you will see them walking almost as skeletons and they don't really feed them, and it's a very sad situation for stray animals in my country. But here in Turkey, it's totally different. This is something that I really love because you will see a lot of stray cats and dogs as well. They will be very well fed. I mean, they are in a really good shape. And this is something that I love. They are so friendly. You will find them everywhere. And especially if you're a cat lover, then this is a place to be. I mean, here, you will not have any problem. They are so friendly and you can take photos with them as well. Number five, and yes, this is one of my most favorite things in Istanbul, especially the sunsets. And if you are following me on Instagram, you will also realize that I post very often photos or even reels about sunsets, especially from the ferry. I don't know why, but this city has something special that mostly every evening we can experience a beautiful sunset. And the best ones are when you are on a ferry from the Asian side to the European side or vice versa, because those are some of the longest ferries. It's between 20 to 25 minutes, so for sure you will get to experience a beautiful sunset with amazing views. Number 6, Istanbul is located on two continents. And yes, this is something that is very fascinating and also a bit exotic for people. Just to know that maybe you're living on the Asian side, but you have to go to work in the European side. And it's very interesting that you can be on the other continent within minutes. You just take a ferry, or you can take an underground like train that goes under the Bosphorus, the Marmaray, and you are just in Europe or in Asia within minutes. So this is quite cool, like to say, oh, now I'm going to Asia for one coffee or whatever. So this is something that at the beginning I was like, I cannot believe it. I'm going to Asia, now I'm in Europe. I'm sitting in Europe, but I can see Asia. It is just something very interesting. Number 7, vibrant nightlife. And yes, many people think that because maybe in Turkey or in Istanbul, the majority of inhabitants are Muslims, and that maybe they might follow certain rules. But in reality here, people, they go out a lot, they have fun with their friends, they also like going out, they have some beers or some drinks, even rakı, which is the traditional beverage of Turkey. And that is something that I really like, that if I want to go out with my husband or with my friends, I can easily go and we can find great places for that. So yes, we can have fun as well, and some other things, or if you want a coffee or a beer or whatever. You also for sure will have fun in Istanbul. Number 8, if you're somebody who loves taking photos, let me tell you that Istanbul is the perfect place for that, because every place you go to, it is so photogenic. You will find very modern places and more like historical places, and that is a beautiful mixture that makes the city unique. And of course, the beautiful views that we can have from every point. So if you're coming to Istanbul, make sure to have your phone or your camera ready with you, because for sure you will want to snap lots of photos. Number 9, Istanbul has a great transportation system. And as somebody who was living in a very small city in Mexico, that our transportation system wasn't as good as bigger cities in Mexico, so I was all the time driving my car. But when I moved to Istanbul, of course, I didn't have a car, so I had to use the public transportation probably for the first time in my life. But I love it, really. I mean, here in Istanbul is so easy finding your way by public transportation. You will not have any trouble, and you have a lot of things. You not only metro or buses, you also have ferries, the funiculars, even cable cars, and that train that goes under the Bosphorus and takes you within time from one side to the other side of the city. Well, the transportation here is super convenient. Number 10, of course, the food. I consider myself a big foodie. I mean, I love eating everything. I cannot tell you something that I dislike, because I just like everything. So here in Istanbul, and in general the Turkish cuisine, it's unique. I just love it. So from desserts, from drinks, from kebabs, from any type of food. So here in Turkey, in Istanbul, you will find a lot of it. I never get bored. But also, of course, as somebody living here, sometimes you would like to try different things, like more international cuisine or just something different from Turkish cuisine. So also here in this city, you will find a lot of options, especially because there are many foreign people also living here who have also opened the restaurants. For example, you can find Lebanese restaurants, Indian, Pakistanis, Mexican. You can find many cuisines here, and which are really good as well. Number 11, I never get bored. And yes, probably you will say, how come you never get bored? Well, Istanbul is a huge city. It's just enormous. And you will find many things, new things and new places to visit and new things to do. So this is why I really never get bored. Of course, I don't go out as much as before when I was new in the city, but still, I mean, if we want to go out on a weekend and say, okay, where we haven't been yet, we can easily choose places because there are so many places that you can visit here. So I can tell you that I have never get bored. I don't know, somebody else probably might get bored, but in my case, I just love the city. It is so diverse, there are so many activities, and it is very easy to entertain yourself. And number 12, of course, I cannot miss this one, and this is the Turkish hospitality. And yes, generally Turkish people, they love welcoming new people. Especially when I was living in Ordu, I really had my best experiences there, especially with my neighbors, because they were all the time taking care of me, even though they didn't speak any English and I didn't speak any Turkish by then either, only merhaba, that was the only word that I knew back then. They were all the time invited me to their place to have dinner, and we were just trying to communicate with our body language. But mostly everybody were so welcoming, also in Istanbul, but in Istanbul or in any other bigger cities in the country, they are already more used to having foreign people. So they're like, okay, just another more foreign people. But in smaller cities, trust me, you will experience what I'm trying to say, that Turkish people are very welcoming. So these were the things that I like about Turkey and Istanbul. And feel free to comment below what are your thoughts. And even if you visited Turkey just as a tourist, or if you're already living here, please feel free to comment below what are the things that you like. Maybe that way we can all share our experience and also have fun. And before we finish with the video, once again, I would love to thank each one of our Patreons and YouTube members for giving us that extra support in making more videos for you every week on our channel. If you want to keep receiving more tips and recommendations about Istanbul and Turkey, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Bye bye.